If you're the type of person who always wants a new model car with the latest modifications, you probably think you need a load of money going spare. How often do you see someone driving a brand new Mercedes or BMW and think to yourself, how do they afford that? Well, they probably do in the same way you can. Just because you haven't got a stash of cash lying around doesn't mean you can't drive the same models they are, and the chances are they didn't buy it outright anyway. So, you can get a brand new car too, and after a few years, get another, and then another. You just need to know how. It's called leasing. In this video, I'll walk through the entire process from start to finish. I'm Josh, the founder of Motorlet, an independent vehicle leasing broker. Whether you're a first-time leaser or looking to upgrade your current deal, my team and I will always be able to provide expert guidance and answer any questions you may have, so you can avoid being stung by bad deals or poor terms. To briefly explain what car leasing is, you pay a monthly payment for a car for a fixed period of time that's typically 2 to 4 years. Unlike traditional car ownership, where you purchase the car outright, leasing allows you to essentially rent the car from a leasing company for as long as you like, and once you're done, you just hand it back. During the lease term, you're responsible for maintaining the car and sticking to a mileage limit that you set at the start of your lease. And at the end of it, you just hand it back. The plus side is that leasing can offer lower monthly payments compared to buying a car on any kind of finance, but the negative for some is that you can't build equity up like you would do with traditional ownership, which some people don't like. That said, how often do you actually see a car go up in value? On the topic of what people do and don't like about leasing over buying, let's get into it. As I just mentioned, lease payments are generally lower than loan or finance payments, and this means you might end up driving a more expensive car for a lower monthly payment than you might think. The same goes for upfront costs. You can usually be really flexible with what you put down up front as well, making it accessible to those with limited initial cash. You can also access brand new cars and the latest models which may have been outside of your budget or not even a consideration due to the inevitable depreciation. Since leasing allows you to drive a new car every few years, you can enjoy the latest features, technology and safety advancements without committing to a long-term ownership. Back to the depreciation risk, with leasing you don't own the car, so you're not affected by its depreciation in value. You simply return the car at the end of the lease without worrying about its resale value. There are minimal risks with leasing a brand new car as they all come with a full manufacturer's warranty. That means you're very unlikely to encounter any out-of-pocket expenses, and unlike other finance options, road tax is included for the duration too. Leasing offers flexibility at the end of the lease term. You can choose to return the car and lease a new one, request to buy the car if you love it, extend it if you want to hang on to it for a little bit longer, or walk away without any further commitments. Plus, if you're leasing a car for your business, you'll be able to deduct the cost of the lease payments from your bottom line. For that, you go down the BCH route instead. Personal contract hire, PCH, and business contract hire, BCH, are two types of leasing agreement depending on who is looking to lease and why. PCH is for individual private use, incorporating VAT into all the payments and involving personal credit checks. On the other hand, BCH is for businesses, allowing them to potentially reclaim VAT from their lease payment and deduct the payments as a business expense. However, it's not all rays of sunshine if you lease a car for your business and use it personally, because you might find yourself paying company car tax, aka benefit in kind, or BIK for short, which might outweigh any savings you make by leasing a car for your business in the first place. Okay, so who is eligible for leasing? Well, it varies on who it's for. For personal leasing, you generally need to meet age and driving licence requirements, demonstrate a good credit history, and show the ability to afford the monthly payments. Business leasing, on the other hand, considers factors like a business's financial track record, net worth, and operational history. The specifics can involve the length of time a business has been operational, its creditworthiness, and in some cases, what the lease car is being used for. As all leasing policies can change from time to time, you should always check with us and we can let you know what the current criteria and requirements are. Credit checks can seem pretty daunting, especially if you've had a missed payment over the years or you're just not sure on how yours looks. When applying for a car lease, the leasing company will look at your credit history and credit score to evaluate your financial reliability and determine whether or not to accept your application. This process typically involves obtaining a credit report from credit bureaus. We use Experian, but there are quite a few, and they outline your borrowing and payment history, outstanding debts, and other financial behaviours. The leasing company will use this information to gauge the level of risk associated with leasing to you, in the same way it does if you take out credit for a phone or personal loan. A higher credit score and a positive credit history generally leads to better lease terms, such as lower monthly rentals or down payments. On the other hand, a lower credit score might result in higher costs or even denial of the lease completely. So how do you know where to begin when you've decided leasing's for you? Choosing the right car and lease deal involves careful consideration of your needs, preferences and financial situation. When you've decided leasing a car is the right choice for you, the first step is to get a clear understanding of your own preferences and financial situation. Begin by identifying your specific needs. Consider factors like the type of car you want, your typical driving habits, and what features you value the most. Next, decide on a budget that outlines how much you can comfortably allocate to your monthly lease payments, taking into account related costs like insurance, fuel, and maintenance. Once you have a clear picture of your needs and budget, you can begin researching and comparing different car models that align with your criteria. Compare the terms such as lease duration, the upfront initial rental, monthly rental, mileage allowances, and additional fees. This info will allow you to shortlist deals that work for you. Our website will let you compare cars, including benefit in kind, as well as save your searches and give you price alerts. We obviously recommend a good conversation with one of the team first. It might be tempting to do it all by yourself, but remember, we're here for a reason. We can access a lot of information and know of suitable ways of getting you into the car that you want. And after that, you can simply complete an online application form and we'll get it submitted to the leasing company. It's then the usual process of applying for any sort of credit, loan or lease, credit and identity checks. You can then decide if you want to include add-ons like maintenance, gap insurance and smart protection, but we'll go through that all with you in detail. We then order the car with the manufacturer and keep you updated on the process. You'll know when the car's being built, when it leaves the factory, when it arrives in the UK, when it gets to the dealership, and if your car's already in stock, this will obviously be a lot quicker. You'll then be ready to sign your lease agreement, which is the actual lease agreement between you and the leasing company. We're here to run through the T's and C's, important elements like mileage limits, wear and tear policies and early termination, so don't worry about any of that. Once the lease agreement's been processed and the vehicle's ready for delivery, we'll agree a date with yourself and book it in for a driven delivery to your home address. When the car arrives at the dealership, they'll PDI it, a pre-delivery inspection, and providing all documents are signed and in order, they'll offer us a delivery date. Once signed for and delivered, you get the keys and away you go. Your initial rental comes out 10 to 14 days after delivery via direct debit, and your monthly rentals begin 1 month after delivery. After your time is up with the lease car, usually 2 to 4 years later, you've got a few options such as extending the lease, returning the car, getting a new lease or requesting to buy it. But if you lease through My Business Motorlet, we reach out a year before the lease ends, sometimes earlier if the car you have takes longer to order. Or if you've mentioned something that you might want, we'll give you a call to discuss your options. We pride ourselves on excellent customer service, reviews and our case studies. You can have a look on the website or Trustpilot, there's tons there. So whilst it might seem like a lot and it might not even be for you, it's pretty straightforward and it costs nothing to have a chat. I hope this step-by-step has helped break down car leasing for you. And if it has, not only will the like help me out, but it will help other people that might be looking for this video as well. If you need more help or you've got any questions, get in touch or leave a comment below.